Okay, the first thing you need to do in order to replace the DC power module, install a DC power module on the TC-5915 Shield Box, is first you need to remove the shocks. You raise the lid up completely to full extended and remove the shocks. Now, it may be difficult a little bit to remove the screw because it has Loctite on the screw. You have to be careful that it doesn't come down like it just did. This is where it struts. Nothing to hold it up. Now you can see you have an opening on this side. You also have an opening on the other side. It's all a matter of choice of which one you select. But normally the DC power module is on the right side if you're looking at the front of the shield box. And now that you've removed the plate, you need to remove the felt on the inside to get access to the inside. What I use an X-Acto, and this is the metal cover that goes on the inside once you get it in there. So I would recommend just taking that, stick it on there as a guide, and cut. You have to be very careful with this. You don't want to cut the metal gasket up here. Okay. Now you remove it. Be careful so that way the adhesive stays on the felt. Otherwise you'd be removing the adhesive that stays intact to the metal. That's more difficult than just taking your time and getting this off. Hopefully if you've done it right, you can just pull this off and it'll stop right there where you make the cut, like that. If you're not so lucky, then you'll have to go back and cut it again a little more, that edge. Now, as you notice, it's completely clean. There's no adhesive on there. Make a good conductive contact. So now, turn it back around. You'll take your DC power module, find the correct side, and the correct side is the beveled side for your screw. You'll have a flathead type screw. So what you'll do is first make sure everything fits okay. Looks like it's going to fit okay. Do a fit check. And lightly install the screws. Like anything that's mechanical, especially with screws, you want to just install these to where it holds it kind of snugly. Ensure you got the proper seating before you completely tighten them down. As you can see, this screw doesn't go in here. This is where you have the longer screw that actually goes in and actually will go through these holes here. A lot of times this will be covered up by the gasket. Then that means then at that point then you have to lift this up slightly and poke holes in through the gasket, and so that you'll have a point of entry into the screw hole, have access to that. Okay, so we've got fourth screw. Sure, that's 3. There's one more. Then you should use a bigger one. Now that it's all seated in there, a bigger one. Tighten up the angles. Okay, make sure it's secure. And you take this, and this one seems to be, it probably will be okay. But let's just see. Okay. But normally if you have a hole there, then you would just go ahead and take this and you'd punch a hole through the metallized gasket. But in this case, it's off to the side. I think the factory's got a little smarter and made it a little bit smaller, so to avoid the hole. Or this just happened to be by chance. That's the way it was made. So now, have this installed. You will have to get some large screws. Alright, now we have the screws to put in there while holding this back piece against the wall of the inside. You'll have to push a little bit in order to break through the metallized gasket a little bit. Again, I did not tighten that all the way because I need to make sure I can get this in there, so I have some movement to completely seat, and this one's pretty easy. It's going in. Okay, now that's tight. Okay. Now we've got the M591532A cover, outside cover, which is the DC power module cover. And we'll stick that on there. Okay. And then we'll take this, make sure it's lined up. Now that we've got this on here, as you can see, got it all on. There. Now you need to put the struts back on. So you just reverse the process. But again, raise it up. Make sure there's alignment there. Side is on. Now, get the other side on. All right, it's done.